Surprise, motherfucker.
Yes, guys, welcome to the most massive show on Car City World. Nay, it's Podcast Nation. This is your Flower Hour. I am here with Mr. Matthew Angel. I thought about the hell you showing me then for a second. How the devil are you, my friend?
I'm happy days, buddy. Happy days. I'm not going to be too negative tonight. I'm going to try not to be anyway. We always knew it was going to be a difficult.
No, that's it. Like 100%, mate. We'll go balls deep into it shortly, but you know, we knew it was going to be a tough one. Obviously, it wasn't helped, which we'll obviously talk about as we progress, and we'll talk about some of the reactions that we've seen on certain media platforms as well, which we'll get into a little bit as well. But we move. So we'll probably, guys and girls and then probably going for about half hour tonight, I imagine. It won't be a full hour, I'm afraid.
Early night tonight, football's back tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah, baby. Most importantly. So make sure you got your comments and your questions and etc. And your thoughts and things. We'll obviously go through them along the way. Should point out as well, big massive shout out to AJM for your continued support. Obviously, the banner's going along the bottom. So for all your printed needs, make sure you give them a shout. I believe it's online, and I'm sure I think they do deliveries as well. So yeah, we will move. So start from the beginning, then, mate. You know, I don't think any Cardiff City fan could think that, you know, it was going to be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. So we'll go for the goals then, really. I think personally, and I'm sure a lot of people would agree, that I think we were on top for large parts of the game prior to the opening goal. Said mistake, I think, spun the game. I still don't think Burnley were that great after that goal winning, to be honest with you. They didn't look like they were like a massively feared team, if that makes sense, you know. But I think that opening goal, that opening mistake, unfortunately, I think, it deflated Cardiff, shall we say.
Yeah, and even after conceding the first goal, I think, we still played some decent stuff. There's not many teams that's going to go to Burnley and for the first half have 60% possession. But what are we doing with that possession that we've got? Is, the first half, the first 10 minutes before that blinking horror show by Hovarth, I thought we were absolutely bossing it. And it surprised me, really, how much we took it to Burnley. We was pressing high, putting them under pressure, which is what you need to do when you go away from home. But obviously Burnley rode the storm. You had that blinking. Well, it's just words can't explain it, can you? You're a professional footballer training 5 or 6 times a week, and something like that. And you look back at it, and the ball doesn't bobble. It's just his feet. I don't know. It just baffles me. But my personal opinion, I don't think he should be there anyway. And I'm hoping after today's performance that Jack Annick will be back in the starting lineup, but who knows?
Yeah, and it's like I said, like in the chat we got, it's almost like I could see that coming. I don't know why, but I could see it coming. Like when that pass came to him, it wasn't a horrific back pass. I don't think personally,
No.
but I just had that feeling that we all know, you guys and girls and etc. Who's watched us, we all have agreed. Really, I think that he's got a mistake in him, and that was a big boy one today. I don't think there's any excuse for it, really. He dropped the ball up there big time, and to see whether Alwick returns in goals next week. I don't think he will. Personally, I think I just got a feeling he's going to stick with Hovar. I think personally, not necessarily I'm saying agree with that, but I just got a feeling he's going to stick with him. And like I think he's got to do better. That second goal, and yes, I know the defense was poor, but his hand's got to be stronger than that for that second goal that goes in. That's weak, very weak keeping that for me. But
and I know was the third goal, the third, like 25, 30 yarder, the crossbar one. Was that the third goal? Or was that a fourth one?
I lost count.
I'm not sure.
I lost count.
They scored a couple of goals from outside of the box, and I'm not being funny. You've got to be getting closer to him. Like, he was nowhere near him. And I don't know. It's something me and Reese have spoke about, and probably myself, and you have spoke about it. I just don't feel comfortable with him in goals, and I think it's starting to affect performances in front of him. I thought Gutas again was very poor today. Again, I don't want to be too negative, but because he's been a pretty solid player for us. But I thought some of his tackles and his positioning today was just not the Dimi Gutas that played for us last season. He just looks out of his depth at the moment. I don't know if you picked up on that today. And for that tackle he slid in, did he have to slide in? Could he have just pushed that defender down the line? He didn't have to. It was rash for me.
No. Yeah, he's he come out as almost like a left wing back position, didn't he? If I'm not mistaken. And he just obviously committed himself for that, and he was gone. And it makes you wonder, like, how much impact having a keeper behind you where you don't feel confident, how much impact it has on you as a centre half, with your own performances, when you have to worry about the lad behind. It's like,
excuse me.
I quietly, man, William. Jesus Christ, trying to do a show by you, man.
Here's a question for you, right? Obviously, there's rumours now McGuinness, and obviously he's not again. He wasn't in the squad today, was he?
No.
So the likelihood is obviously we're going to be losing him for a decent chunk of money, granted. But do you think that's unsettled Gutas? Do you think that would play something in his head that one of his buddies who he's played alongside potentially might be going? You don't know, do you?
No, that's it. You don't know what goes on in the head of a pro. Is he feeling like now? It could be it could be a case of, oh, my Macca is going, or it could be a case of thinking, oh shit, it's the fan now. We brought in Chambers. Sound. That's happy days. He's got some as a comfort, just in case if McGuinness is there. Then McGuinness is going. Then he's thinking, shit, they ain't got no cover now for me as a cushion, if you like, just in case I needed somebody else needed to step in or something. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of another, mate. Who knows what's going through these guys' heads? And I wondered that, like many fans did today with some of their performances out there. I think Willock done well again. The best he could, I suppose. He definitely looks like a decent signing. But talking about the midfield, I don't like the Ramsey-Riles combo. I know Riles, excuse me, sorry, his passing was decent and all that business, but I don't. There's no legs there. I know he plays Rambo a little bit more further forward. Beg your pardon. And he ends up going right wing back sometimes as well when they kick on, when Mété kicks on. But he hasn't got the legs. They haven't got the legs to play together, I don't think, personally. And we'll get on to Ramsey a bit as well.
I think it worked for half hour. I think we controlled the game for the majority of the first half, if I'm honest.
Yeah, they haven't got the legs to carry on going through, they.
No. And, I'm jumping forward a bit now. I know Rambo went off injured a couple of minutes before the end, but what's he still doing on the field at that time? We talk about managing his games and the amount of time he's got to play and things. When we're getting battered by the scoreline we are, why have we still got him on the field? No. I know he hasn't.
He should come off.
Yeah, I know he hasn't lived up to the hype of, Aaron Ramsey at the moment, but we all know his capabilities. Granted, he hasn't got the legs he once had, but he's still a quality midfielder, and I wouldn't be surprised if he won't be available now next week after that knock he took today, because he walked off gingerly, didn't he? And it didn't look too clever. Callum O'Dowda come off as well. I don't know. I haven't looked at any of the thing after the game to see any news on injuries and things, so that'll be interesting to see now over the coming days how much of an impact that's had on us and how hard that's going to hit us now ready for the game next Sunday. But there we go. Going back to something you mentioned earlier as well about some of the comments and things on social media calling for his head, and I just think it's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm not going to jump to the comments just yet, but there's a comment here which I'd like to raise. PS3 from a Burnley fan, so welcome, mate. Polo2256 says, don't be upset. You pressed well in the first half. We're a Premiership team in all but position. It's taken 60 years to get back to that. Cardiff will do it one day. So, no, I much appreciate it, mate, and thank you for tuning in to us. I do
massively that's always not going to take us 60 years, because I'm not going to stay around for long.
Yeah, it's. Do you know what? Like, it is a point. Like, it is a point that apparently, there's no doubt about it. I think it's quite safe to say they'll be one of the automatic places to go up at least.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think they showed their quality second half. I think we were still at the game. We were still in the game at 2-0. To be honest, if we could have pinched a goal at 2-0, we were still in. We'd still been in it. But after they scored that third, they just controlled it then, didn't they? And we didn't look like causing them any types of problems. And really, second half, I probably switched off a little bit and probably wasn't as what I was in the first half, but. There's not many teams. We had more possession than Burnley did through the entire game. There's not many people who are going to go to Burnley and have more possession than them. The frustrating thing is we're not doing enough with the possession we got. We're not causing enough problems. I know Mété had a good chance at the bar or at the side of the post. Kanga had a goal disallowed for offside. So, either one of them go in and is a different ball game, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to talk about flashpoints in the game. The offside, which he was offside in fairness. And then it was Mété, wasn't it? Who was through and put it slightly wide, wasn't it? It was the post or something like that. And you got to think, it's easy for us to sit here and say it, but I know he's obviously playing wing, but he's predominantly a striker, isn't he? And I think you got to be finished at the championship level. You got to be taking that chance, haven't you? You got to at least be making the keeper work. I think personally,
and for me, when he took that shot at goal, he's going the complete wrong way. he went for near post or whatever, and it skimmed the post of the bar. For me, and I'm no striker, and I don't pretend to ever be. Surely he's got to go across the keeper. So even if the keeper has to save it, he's palming it back out into open field. Like,
yeah,
I just think we're banging on about we don't score goals. Well, what are they doing in training? I don't know.
It makes you wonder, and like I don't think pound for pound, take the keeper out of the equation. Pound for pound, I don't think our defenders are bad footballers. And it just makes me wonder about the tactics, the training and stuff like that they're going through. Not necessarily putting it on Bullet, but his coaching staff as well, because we all know it's not a one-man job being a manager of a football club. There's defense coaches, attacking coaches, etc. along the way, isn't it? So it makes you wonder, because this is not new with Bullet, with defending. Yes, we've had some shitty defenders prior to him, when you could think, oh, okay, fair enough. There's a reason why you're making a mistake, is because you're not good enough. But it makes you wonder why this is still happening all the time. Or are we just got our blinkers on and we think these players are better than what they actually are? Have we gone full England fan mode and think that these players are God's gift when they're actually mediocre at best? I don't know. It's
and
this, I suppose.
Going back to the point, I think it was Adam who brought up the Burnley fan. I'm sure that's the name who was on with Si last night, I think. So again, welcome, and if it is you, but like he said, they're a Premiership team, and I think I said a couple of times during pre-season that if we played against better teams, we're going to get punished, and that's what happened today. Burnley were clinical; they took the chances when they had them. They had 9 shots on goal, I think, 4 on target, scored 4 goals, and we give them 1. So, that's you can't get any more clinical than that,
Absolutely, mate. So I'll jump into some of the comments. Welcome, Danny, mate. He says you were lucky today. Reece David Evans says, let's not forget, Coventry City were bottom after 10 games, then ended up in the playoff final. We were told patience is a bad thing. GD Parry says, Willock Troy, bless him. Bob Hanks, welcome, mate. I love that picture, by the way. It's quality. Hovarth is a disaster. I don't think that's a surprise. Let's have a look. What we got? I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but the L says Hovarth made Runnison look like Schmeichel today. What we got? Lemieux says, welcome, mate. Alnwick's must start next weekend. Loads of lovely comments, guys. Yes, one from Reese is a good one. Yeah, great point. How this is on about, obviously, Ramsey with his minutes. How hasn't Errol learned his lesson from last season when Rambo should play 60 minutes max to keep him fit, but not first 2 league games, and he wanted to play for 2 lots of 90. Yeah, it's I don't get it. I don't understand that, and I'd love to know the reasons why. We'll never know the reason why behind it. I don't expect, but I'd love to know why. Mike
unless Rambo's telling him that he wants to play every minute he can, like, which again, if Rambo's going to him and telling him that, then fair enough. But I still think, you got to look at the bigger picture.
There's a duty though as well to succeed that, doesn't
he?
Yeah. Mike says, saw the match on the stream, was dreadful. Be a CCFC fan before you guys were born. This is the worst I've seen. We were never in the game. Interesting in comment from Mike, and it was followed up by, where's he gone? Media Reader says, Mike, the worst you've seen, you forgot the Alan Durbin years. Our
before our
in-house
time.
Viking, Louise says, hello, Vikings, we play a Premiership team, not by the name, no. So it's, we got loads of, Jesus, guys, you lot have gone to town for the comments today, haven't you? I tell you what. Louise says, what doesn't kill you make you stronger? Do you know, I love your positivity. I love it.
Yeah, she's spot on it. We just got to get behind them now and just... The frustrating thing for me is that we got Swansea away next week. It would have been nice if we'd had an home game, perhaps not against Swansea either, but it is what it is, and we've just got to keep ploughing through, keep building, keep laying them foundations, and keep working on things week by week. Granted, like I said, I thought we pressed really high for the first 10 minutes until they scored that City goal. But I was quite happy with the start we made. And going back to your points you said earlier about, key times during the game and against a good quality team who've just come down from the Premiership, they took their chances when they needed to. And, when we come up against teams like that, we can't afford to make the mistakes we did. And hopefully we'll learn from it. I would like to think we will. And things are only going to get better. So that's what I'm hoping anyway.
Yeah, that's it. I think, look, in this day and age with football, it's very easy to go full on off the rails with opinions and things like that. And rightly so. Lots of fans travelled up there. I hope to God that Cardiff, the fans who made that hell of a journey up to Burnley, get every single one of them gets reimbursed with extras added on. But
never going to happen, is it?
Don't think so.
Never. Club will never do that, man. Never in a million years.
Give away something for free? What?
No.
Can't even get a free happy birthday fucking thing put up on the
stand. No. Well, I'll let the guys know the story behind this anyway. But the last couple of years, I've sent the club an email to have my boy's name put up on the big screen at half time for his birthday. Never been a problem before. This year, they've come back and said, yeah, we can do it, but you need to send a payment of £15 to such and such. And I just baffled me, really. I think season ticket holder, my boy's a season ticket holder. I think something like that should be like underwritten in a kiddie's season ticket contract then that you'd get an announcement. Do you know what I mean? It means nothing to me, to be honest, but well, it does mean something because when he sees his name up on the screen and he's beaming, it's a great feeling. Do you know what I mean? It's little things like that. It's just, I don't know, we're just going the wrong way, I think. Talk about fan engagement.
No, I 100% agree, mate. I 100% agree. I know this is a bit off topic, but 100%, like, you could almost, I'm not saying I'm justifying the slightest, but you could almost justify it to some extent if you've just bought like a one-off game. Like, do you know what I mean? If you turned up and said, all right, I'm coming to watch a game today, can I have my lad's or my kid's name or whatever put on the screen? And they'd be like, oh yeah, it's an extra tenner. You could kind of see sense in that. But the fact that both of you have gone your way and obviously put money as a commitment into the club for the season, yet they want to charge you. It's irrelevant if it's 15 quid, whereas 15, £5 or 50 quid, the monetary value is not the point. It's the principle of it that which irks me somewhat. But yeah, that's a whole different story altogether. So apologies for bringing that back, I think.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Something else to talk about, won't
it? I know. So yeah, we'll keep it short and sweet this evening. You're all, I will bring this up just to share with you all. Media, charging fans for announcements is a joke. 100% agree. I think my honest opinion is, doesn't matter what club, what level you're at for birthdays and whatnot, why the hell should any club or team charge for that, for anything like that, is beyond me. But that's a different
I think
topic.
the entertainment at halftime now is dogs shit compared to what used to be.
It used to be great.
Like,
I used to love it.
At Ninian and things, when the kids you used to have different grassroots clubs out there kicking a ball, small goals and that, and they'd go out there and you'd see one of them score and they'd be running around going mental. I used to love it, watching the kids play and enjoying it, being out there. I don't know whether it's because of the pitch and they don't want it getting wrecked or whatever. I don't know, but come on, let's under sevens, under eights, they're only 2 stone the soaking wet. It's not as if they're going to go out and rip the field to bits, is it? So I don't know why they've stopped doing that. I don't know if anybody in the comments would know, but yeah.
I know county, do you mean like they support local clubs?
No, we're not talking about any other clubs, Robert. Welsh ones.
Reese says some good news. Might have another guest sorted on Monday for you both. Got to make a phone call. We'll have an ex-City player on. Exciting times. Apparently not. That's a no, isn't it? I think.
No, I don't think they do.
I don't think they charge for that sort of stuff. No, I don't think that's a thing. I'm sure I've read or someone has said to me about that when this was brought up. I don't believe so, mate. I think they only charge for I said it only. They charge for like birthdays, anniversaries, or engagements, or any of that stuff. But death notices, I don't believe are charged. So coming up then, we start to wrap up, my friend. We will be back on Wednesday. Yes, I will do a Wednesday this week as well. It's not like me to do two shows in a week, but yes, I will be back on Wednesday with Mr. Matthew Angel as well. So on Wednesday, we'll do a bit of a quick little preview of the Swansea game on the weekend. We'll talk about the lineup, some little bit of predictions, etc., and obviously get you all interacting with us and talking to us, and let us know your thoughts on what the scores will be. Coming up, Sire's God knows what coming out. He's just a different level. I've just lost interest. I've lost count of the stuff he's got coming out now. But no, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, sharing. His podcast nation, of course, Car City World. And don't forget as well, on Mondays, a few Patreon members, there'll be a live show with Reese, potentially with myself, maybe Angel, and maybe Sai, I don't know. So if you haven't become one already, for the price of a pint of car in a month, you can become an Ace Podcast Nation Patreon. Obviously get access to unscripted shows. I think there's going to be a few extra things added soon as well, but you get early access to like the live event tickets, and it's going to get a bit of a revamp. So it's definitely going to be worth a pint of car in a month. I can assure you of that. But I think that is it from me. Is there anything else you would like to comment on before we say goodnight?
No, that's about it, really. But I think there's been a couple of rumours over the last couple of days about a defender and a striker. Obviously, I think we did pick up a couple of injuries today, so hopefully now over the next day or two we'll get to learn the extent of those injuries. So perhaps we'll have a chat about that then Wednesday. As you said, I know Si will probably do a show before the Swansea game, but we'll do our Flower Hour review and things on Wednesday. But hopefully, we haven't been decimated too much today. Full credit to Burnley. I thought they thoroughly deserved it in the end. They rode the storm the first half, scored that third one, which killed us off. and then went on to score 4 and 5. This is another one for you, right? What's your thoughts on the attire Errol Bullock to wear on the side? Because he always looks proper cash, doesn't he? Whereas you've got Scott Parker then on the other side in like shirt and tie and that. What's your thoughts on that? I think you should either have the club tracksuit on, or you should have a shirt and tie on, like a club shirt and club tie.
It don't bother me, to be honest with you. Okay, a spin question to you then. If you was a manager, would you go full suit or full like tracksuit?
I'd be a full kit wanker. I would. I'd have my boots and that on the lot.
But you are.
Yeah. I'd be
Bob Banks says club tracky.
Yeah, 100%.
I think
100%.
I'd love the idea of wearing a suit, but in reality, because how warm I get, I just want to wear what I'm wearing right now, like a vest with my boobs hanging out, back hat on, and some shorts on, and my sliders. Yeah, I'm living my best life. Do you know what I mean? But who the hell thought we'd finish up the show by talking about clothing?
Last thing I did want to say was massive respect to Burnley today. I don't know if you've seen a photo of the program today with the team sheets. Peter Whittingham was highlighted. I thought that was class.
Yeah, I shared it.
100%.
Yeah.
Nothing but respect there. I thought that was awesome. Living legend.
Yeah, proper cracking little nod that was, and I got a lot of time for that. We're starting something now. Gareth Haynes with rock and roll outfit. Yeah, great style.
Need to grow my hair a bit for Gareth Ainsworth.
Drinking Carl in half time. You need to run more next one, Carl, than you.
I think that's what some of them need to do. Have you seen the interview with Gaza? I think it was a cup final he was playing in. And, I'm not sure who was managing him at the time, but it was like Gaza. They went in half time. Gaza ever had a drink, and he was like, "No, boss." He said, "Well, go and have one." So he went and had like 3 double brandies. Went out second half, scored 2 goals or something. So yeah,
I remember. I vaguely remember seeing something about that. Couldn't be half cut and do it like.
Wouldn't happen nowadays, but would it?
No, not in the slightest, mate. It's
So before we finish, and I don't really want to finish on a negative, but what is your thoughts on some of the comments and posts and things on social media calling for him to get the boot already and stuff like that, slagging him off, and we just got to back him for me and just support as much as we can. Like,
do you know what, mate? It irritates me a bit. Look, I know we're all fans. We all got opinions. A lot of us got different opinions to others. But to be requesting and demanding the manager to go after 2 games into the season is just bloody ridiculous. I think personally, look, I respect everyone's opinion and we're all entitled to it. Don't get me wrong. I've got mine, you got yours. Wonderful people in the comments have got their own as well. But I think it's just very unfair to and unnecessary, I think, to be calling for managers' heads 2 games into a season. I think personally, yes, some decisions are questionable. Yes, some things he could do differently, but I just think, look, you can't go calling for stuff like that, and I just think there's worse things to worry about right now than Cardiff losing the first 2 games of the season. One, which was the disappointing defeat to Sunderland at home, and 2, blindsided by Burnley after some poor mistakes against a Burnley team who will be back in the Premiership next season. So, it bugged me a bit. I must admit, I had to turn off social media for a little while because every single group that I'm in or whatever, every other post seemed to be something negative like that.
But can you imagine? Can you imagine what it's going to be like now, this time next week, if we have a bad result down there? If you think it's bad today,
I mean, just for the record, guys, if we lose next Saturday, there's no show next weekend.
No
okay, if Cardiff lose,
no show next Saturday anyway. They're playing on Sunday.
Oh yeah, it's Sunday. My apologies. So I lost my days. But yeah. Anyway, we will rock you and leave you and stick it right up you. So we're going to make a move now, man. But no, thank you all so much for joining. Like I said, if you could be so kind as to like and subscribe and share and all those shenanigans. Love seeing another team fan commenting again. So, look, it's not that type of show.
Couple of new names in the comments as well. So welcome, guys. Thank you for chipping in. Much appreciated.
Yeah. 100%. Look, do you know what I mean? Look, we do this because we love Cardiff, and we like talking to you guys and girls and etc. So without you lot, then there's no show. So much appreciate the comment. It's nice to see so many new faces. Seems to be every time we do a show now, there's new faces popping up. So it's lush to see you guys. So thank you so much for doing that. As we said earlier, we'll be back on Wednesday. Keep an eye out on social media. Maybe wait till tomorrow until all the misery gets knocked off about the result, or maybe even Monday. Maybe wait till Si's got some stuff knocking about. So keep an eye out on that. But without further ado, I bid you good night. And the only thing left to say, Mr. Matthew Angel.
Is she still in your cupboard, Rob?
Swagger down the street.